doubt any way to describe it. So now I'm going to talk about here are the elements of it. This is the stance. Everyone can do it, right? Just grab it. That's where it goes. The only tension in this, I've said this before, but these things kind of have that going on. Otherwise, there are no muscles involved. I mean, there must be, but I mean, consciously, something, I'm not sure. It looked like a little bug. Anyway, so there you are. There's your stance. Hook these, and you are set up. That's the end of the last golf lesson ever. The rest is the way it goes. Yeah. And then I'll get right to it. There's the actual, the way I first discovered it was this one. It's two versions of the same concept, which is the single pivot swing. The end of the, the other one, the back-breaking, tiger-killing, is no longer with us after that lesson. There's so much to feel. The idea that you would try and start welding your swing into its final position first out of the gate is what was wrong with golf. I mean, it's just a ridiculous idea. Every swing needs to be an experiment. I don't need to know what I'm going to do. I didn't know I was going to just do it. But I'm feeling it. It's a, it's, I thought of it the other day that this is Tai Chi with a purpose. You actually, they're physical results, something, I'm not sure, but it was super complete in terms of results. It does not shake the confidence of the modern golfer, because we know every swing is a step on a road that will go amazing places. Check my aim. And we always talk about mats, but if you have the option, you're a fool not to practice off a mat, because playing the game is about topography and conditions. Practice is actually, this is the beauty of it. It's just practice, whether you're playing or not, and only lucky people can play, but everybody else can practice. They have so many unused clubs to give people, to give kids. People will be on the street with crumpled beer cans, with lob wedges causing sparks, woolly man, broomsticks. Just for fun. Keep this going. Wow, it's gonna be bright. I think that's everything. I think it's good. I hope it's right. Figure out how to standardize it if I'm going to come back every day, and I don't know why I wouldn't. I mean, I have plenty of things to talk about beside golf. There's one story with this swing, which is anything, relaxation. It demands 100% relaxation. Anything you try and jam in there, the ball's going to the right. it slows down when you add any muscles. I gotta be quiet. My friend Donnie is gonna be unhappy, or continue to be. So, I invented this 9 years ago, right over there, or discovered it, you know. And then I had my circumstance, I didn't play golf for 8 years. And then 8 years also, well, they coincide really. I was playing a little, but I wasn't taking it seriously in any way. And then one day my computer, and after I transferred everything from one computer to another, this was the new computer. I don't know how old it was, that's not the issue. But it coughed up the golf swing that I'd put on YouTube 9 years ago. At the time, the internet was so young that there was only one Jimmy Ballard thing, and then me. I was the next one. Got 6,600 visits, and while I was stuck in Indiana, I looked it up to see what the activity was, and everybody was saying I was smoking pot, and I was so embarrassed, and I had lost confidence stuff in the swing, so I took it down, and then 8 years later it pops up out of nowhere, and life has been strange since then. When you find out that you have invented a safe alternative to like toying with handguns, that's what that swing is. That's what this is. When you go like this, and then go like this, and you're back, and everybody just said, all they ever say to me is, well, yeah, you've got everything. You're flexible. Anyone can do this. Anyone can do this. Not the other one. The other one nobody could do. Nobody could do it. Jesus, lemonade stands. Tiger in the lemonade stand. See, anyway, slow TV. I have so many issues. I'm an artist too, and I'm chasing someone to get the rights because there is copyrighted music I'm recording in the background and it's playing in the video. So I have many issues. And the videos are of my paintings. They're of my artwork with music playing in the background. And then there's a psychedelic effect in the camera, which everyone has. And anyway, here's an issue. Vertical screens. Turns out most computers, you can change it so that you have a vertical screen. And they talk it up, but it's just ridiculous. There's like a bigotry. Yeah. Why? You've got two things. Why would you say, no, we're just gonna do this one? No, everyone will have a vertical screen in the future. It's ridiculous. A photography professor, when he saw the first vertical photograph, he said, oh, that's just ridiculous, because monitors weren't vertical. It makes sense, but no, I talked to my son about it. I said, in art, your first statement is the shape and orientation of your canvas, because it's like a tuning fork. It does make sense, doesn't it? But it's the emotion that's coming up. Absolutely. And you don't have restrictions. Sometimes I made horizontal paintings, sometimes vertical. And in art school, they talk about it, and the idea was vertical is positive, is more. It's a. I won't go into that because there's a lot to go into. this golf swing, the last thing you're concerned with is results. In other words, where the ball ends up. It has nothing to do with this golf swing. This golf swing is a reward in itself. You're on the ride. As soon as you set this thing up, everyone can do it. I was in rehab and we had just a yucky wild grass field, and we had some golf clubs, and I don't remember that. I was trying to remember the ball yesterday, but it's plastic something, and it was like we would set it up so it'd be like a par 4 distance. It'd be big enough, which might have actually been like 100 yards. I'm not sure. And we would try to putt it over. I mean, why not? We certainly did it when we played baseball as kids. My God. Be happy to find a flattened milk carton to use as first base. This is all I can talk about. I mean, there is a moment, right? And the beauty of this is like it's not in your hands. You don't need to be concerned about it. Whenever you feel like it or it feels like it, you will start. And it's just a dropping of the weight over to this side. Or, it's a turn. But I'm just turning my hips. And the club takes it. The club does the rest. So your body and the club are one thing. Everybody will have the same swing and get the same results. Exactly. And that's what I mean. You have to talk about results because people can't watch baseball because they're so concerned with who's going to win. They don't even see the activity. That's right. I mean, think about it. But, no, you don't have to care. I know there's a reason. There was a reason, but the reason was in my mind. There was someplace in my brain that was a little kinked. It doesn't change anything. Ultimately, and maybe especially when the time comes, you may be able to do that with it. Actually stop and concentrate and try and deliver. You got a shot, right? There you go, right there. Yeah. See it, and it goes right. It's tension, man. Yeah, Tony just said the same thing. Don't care really where it goes. It's the same thing with putting. Get this out of the way. What you do with putting is you get a feel for the activity, and the results come from that. So the main thing is to be comfortable in the activity, and so the one thing you can do is explore distance. You can have that in sight, but aiming at the hole, God, the cancer owns this. You can do that. It's fun to do that, but it's not important. This is what's important. The activity. People can go and putt. They don't have to play that. Just go putt. I had a good idea. At one of the ends of an oval kind of putting green we have, that we put up a few antique fences, make a corral corner with lots of space in between stuff, but people can maybe about that high. You can put your brass rail on and invite the public. Learn golf from the ground up. Where would they put them all? Right? Hand them a putter and a ball and say, have fun. Free. That wouldn't work. I know it would screw up golf courses. The members would be all pissy and stuff, and that makes sense. But there's room for it somewhere. I mean, there are a lot of golf courses that are not doing anything right now. They're closing. They're probably closing one a day. I don't know. One a week. So the swing is a reward in itself. Swing is its own. I don't remember. But then you start thinking about it and trying to find out what you're doing. How is this working? One of the things that mostly strikes me is that at the top, the bounce, that is the moment. If you try and speed it up, it goes right. Right at that split second. That's the only change between in what happens. But you just don't care what happens anymore. When you're good enough, it'll go where you want it to. But it's just a waste of energy, waste of time. It generates self-consciousness. This is the most agonizing sport ever. Everyone brings their own demons and leaves with them every day. No more. No longer. I'll find out what I'm doing soon enough. But that's why. That's why I think I can tape every day. I think I have content. I know I have plenty of other subjects. Maybe it'll turn out to be. Well, it should be. I thought of the other when I was. We're getting pretty close because this is having this work. And one of my strongest thoughts was, I'm going to send this to ballet dancers and equestrian people who are used to looking at horse flesh, and see what they say or think or care about. I'll make it look like so much fun, and we'll take it up. Right? And then later, I just pried open the treasure chest. There is shaping the ball and hitting it low and high and adding, somehow generating, getting the most muscle out of your body, and without your timing breaking down. That's all it is. If the timing breaks down, for once it goes where I like seeing it, but I don't care about this one. Let's see if I can screw this up. Yeah, I don't care. Change of scenery. People my age will remember the slogan. Oh, I can't say this. I can't talk about that. That was about my website, and I don't want to say anything about my website. You can see the videos there, but you're not going to find it. This is where everything was hot. Yeah, I won't even put them up. That solves that. So let's say I can do this. This is the story. I thought up the name, and I was on my phone calling it into myself. Didn't want to forget. I thought up the name, I'm on the phone, in comes a guy from the golf course who says, someone left this out there. And the name of the thing was, itstherealswing.com. This is famous for It's the Real Thing. Within a minute. I was on the phone. So, everyone will be able to go to my website, but all you'll find there is everything else I do. I will not have any golf there. Maybe I'll put that one swing. Yeah, the one from last week when I discovered my brim fullness. I only have one club, so never seen anything like it before. I mean, like it, of course, but not even close. Differences are so microscopic. Here's my Slazenger. Yep, it's a 1. I have a friend who's hung up on Slazenger 7 as in they crawled over a fence. Idaho, they were. Try and make one of these things go slow. Try it. I mean, they get paid for, trick shot artists to be able to slow their swing down. They would be, people would pay to see it. But I can go as slow as anything. You try one more. You get the balls up on the mat, that's always an issue. So, I don't know if I can consciously do it. That other one, I mean, it was a gift. Yeah. I can feel something, and a teacher could see it, which is the amazing thing. My daughter rode English saddle for many years, and I got to be with her the whole time. And the teacher it's great distances away. She sees something and says something about the way Devon's body is in relation to the horse. And Devon gets it every time. And I don't know what other people do. It's just impossible. And that's what this is. I can feel something, a real teacher can see it, and your consciousness, or something, you get a name for what just happened. I don't know. I don't know if it'll be necessary in the future. But when I started thinking about promoting this, I got to the question of, am I putting everybody out of business? All they have to do is learn it, and then help other people learn it. There's really nothing too much. They'll tell you what the sensations are like, and something, I don't know. Best will be highly paid. Sure. I can just do it. It doesn't break down. It's not breaking down. Oh, got 2 balls left. I'm going to do the second swing. Single pivot. They may be ended up calling male and female or something, and they may have differences just as horizontal and vertical. Oh, I was sort of lost there because my teacher friend drove by. So this is it. This is going to be their only real front half single pivot swing. Lost it, but it was